Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aries. If Aries is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay. All right. Let's see what do these beautiful tea leaves say tonight. Okay. Okay. All right, so where do I want to start here? Let me get my little pointing stick here. So I just want to start with this, okay? We have here, it looks like a person, and I just am going to say, you can hear my cats eating in the background, so I apologize. It's their dinner time. I guess most of the day is their dinner time, it seems like. Okay, so we have a person here, and it looks like a person behind them. Kind of, this one is moving this way, okay, and has the arm down, and then this person seems to be following, okay, and kind of grabbing the arm. I also am seeing a bird, and it looks like a fancy kind of bird. Maybe like, I would say it almost looks like a peacock, but I also kind of think it maybe looks like, trying to think, like a cockatoo. No, I don't know. A cockatoo? That's the one with the thing on the head, like the feathers on the head. Maybe a parrot. I had a parrot when I was a kid for a little while. It scared me. It was not very nice. It would always bite my cheek, and if you tried to get too close to it. I only liked my mom, so I am a little wary of pet birds or captive birds. But anyways, I want to say that we're going to go with this being a parrot. Because I think if it was a peacock, it would be longer. Now with the situation here, it seems like somebody leaving, right? And the other person kind of really, holding on to the arm, like, please don't leave. It doesn't feel super aggressive necessarily, but I kind of almost feel like it's kind of like more than, say, a physical partner, a truly manifested person. It almost strikes me more as holding yourself back from kind of going off into whatever direction that you're headed, okay? And with the bird, I mean, with a parrot, immediately I think of this kind of like repetitive mimicking. It kind of almost makes me think of like self-talk, kind of like internal dialogue, but almost like it's like an invasive thought, or kind of an invasive repeated kind of phrase or word or feeling. And I feel like I want to bring up the card immediately because it's kind of already building up into making a little sense for me here. And we have the 7 of Cups, okay? And as you can tell, this is kind of, it's in the Thoth deck, as far as Crowley's explanation for this card, his, the affiliations of this card, it is about debauch, okay, debauchery, overindulgence, overuse, pushing the limits, addictive behaviors, okay, and so we have this kind of like swampy, murky, slimy water. And it really is just kind of the spoiling of something that could have been good, could have gone the other way, right, and been just flourishing. Now this is just so much. It's like overripe fruit, right? Taking too much at once, and a lot of it goes to waste. This kind of thinking, right? But also kind of a compulsive. Going in a loop, obsession, addiction. And so I really get the feeling that there has been kind of just a period of uncomfortable emotions happening for you. Okay. I feel that, you know, whatever some circumstances has risen up, aligned in such a way, you know, this could cause anxiety, negative feelings, depression, melancholy, these kinds of things, uncomfortable feelings. And I feel that there's this sense of escapism kind of really going on, okay? Really going to this like this coping mechanism of just, you know, trying to get out of the situation without any, you know, doing any work or resolution, just kind of, you know, looking for a distraction, looking for something that's going to take you out of your emotions, your head, you know, and this could be anything. It could be substance use. It could be, you know, physical, you know, I always don't know how to say this on YouTube, but, you know, getting out there and being physical with people, maybe some risky behavior, overspending, overeating, you know, whatever it is that is your kind of, whatever your proclivity is for, you know, kind of these addictive behaviors. And we all have different ones. I mean, it might not necessarily meet the criteria for addiction, but we all have like coping mechanisms that we can overindulge in, right? And some of us, if you're like myself, you have a few at least, right? And I have spent a lot of my life trying to manage those. So, yeah, so we have the bird, but then it's interesting because we look over here and it almost looks like a person standing here, and my cat is right on my shoulders, so I'm kind of kind of have a bird on my shoulder. I wish I could show her to you right now. But we have this person. It looks like they were holding this bird, and now it's kind of attacking them. Okay, and so I kind of wonder if your kind of conscience, your kind of the more rational, grounded part of yourself is, you know, kind of being attacked at this point. Just that kind of more reptilian brain, that kind of, you know, that system within yourself that kind of puts you into more of like compulsive or non-conscious, just not non-conscious, but unconscious reactions, instinctual reactions kind of turning on you, okay? And maybe more siding with this, you know, whatever the behavior is. And I kind of want to look around on here to see if I can kind of suss out what might be going on with you. Okay. Let's see if I can get this cat to get down. Okay. Come on, miss. Don't pull off my thing. Thank you. There you go. Okay, I'll get a drink. A little drinky while I'm at it. It was so warm today. I have my iced tea all made. All right. Okay, so let's kind of turn this and see what maybe are these behaviors that we have going on. Okay, so now I don't want to be crude. I always try to be delicate with this, these kinds of signs, but we have a person in this kind of phallic symbol here. So I think that we are dealing with something that has to do with some kind of courtship, something to do with, you know, anything that kind of has to do with, you know, fertility, coupling, copulation. But I believe that this is much more on the impulsive side. I don't necessarily believe that this has to do with, say you have a primary partner, okay? I think that this really might kind of be, you're kind of in this posture of being receptive to the attention of somebody that is outside of your primary partner. Okay, if that makes sense. Now it could be, if you are in a relationship, it could be with a partner, but slipping into kind of a more compulsive, hyper sexual kind of situation, okay? That I'm not saying that's problematic necessarily, but I think that it's there's like a fine line of it becoming something that is all consuming, right? But I do wonder if this is not necessarily kind of the actualization of, you know, meeting physically, but because I'm looking at, I'm looking at this symbol here, and it's the same, it's kind of turned to the, okay, and then it kind of turns into this animal and kind of walking up it. It kind of looks like an animal, kind of looks like a mountain as well. But that coupled with this up here, and I feel that, and this is a person kind of standing, right, and gazing out this way, and I feel like they're like almost holding like a pen, okay? And so I really get the impression here that you have been trying to restrain some of your impulses to maybe I think that this is more communication based is basically what I'm getting to. I don't think that there has been any really like physical meeting. I don't think that there has been any kind of like actual cheating physically. Okay. And we know that you can be unfaithful in a lot of ways. Also, you might not be you could be in an open relationship. I don't think this is super about even any kind of stepping outside of your relationship. Although I have the feeling that there's just such a fine line that's happening here. Okay. I feel that, and I'm getting this together in my head, and I'm sorry, it's kind of clunky. But so I feel that you have been communicating with somebody that you do know. And it could be purely online, but I feel like this is somebody who maybe is like within your like hobbies, your interests, maybe even like work, but you have relating interests. Okay. And part of that, I think, is because I'm looking at this, it reminds me of hiking. And I feel like it's something that maybe is a physical activity. It could be some kind of game or, you know, whatever your interest is, right? And this cat keeps trying to I'm sorry. Come on. Let's go down here. Okay, so I feel like your interaction, or at least the medium for your interaction with this person is innocent, right? But I feel like because you have been kind of in a hard place emotionally, or your circumstances have been difficult recently, getting the attention of somebody new that's outside of your family unit, maybe your primary partner, or you know, you could be single as well. I don't know, but this person who is giving you attention, and it doesn't necessarily mean that this is any kind of like overtly flirty or sexual attention, but I feel that your interests have been piqued. Okay. And even more than that, I feel that it is consuming a lot of your energy and your time. Okay. I feel that there's a sense of really like kind of anticipating their next message to you. Maybe like they're commenting on your social media, or you know, some kind of brief interaction at work or within the chosen hobby, and you're just looking forward to it. It almost feels like it could become like an obsession, right? And I don't even know that it's about the person. It's like the dopamine that you get with these kind of interactions, right? Okay, so this is, and I feel that for you, it kind of does border on this kind of attraction, physical attraction, fantasy. But like I said, it doesn't necessarily present itself overtly this way between the two of you. Okay. We have some more mountains here. So I really think that, you know, this is something that, I don't think this is a new thing for you. Okay, I think that this has happened before. I think that it could even be kind of part of a cycle for you. And if you do have a partner, I kind of almost wonder if this would not be surprise. Like, it would not be a big surprise to them, right? But I think that this kind of behavior, especially because I don't think that this is unique to this situation, is going to become destructive with long-lasting effects, okay? With especially if you have a long-term partner, a spouse, you know, somebody that you live with, somebody that you have committed yourself to, and you are monogamous, or you have rules, you know, whatever they are. I feel that that's a big thing. I feel that it could be pretty destructive, okay? I'm seeing some letters in here. Well, yeah, we have the A, okay? We have the A here, and I was looking at this. It's kind of connected to this purse right here, and the person with the purse, kind of by the feet. Someone's kind of standing on it. So I kind of wonder if some of these difficult emotions that kind of kick this whole thing off, if they're not kind of based in like some kind of financial argument, or something, you're just having trouble with your finances, or misspending, and that's causing some kind of conflict at home, which is kind of pushing you in this direction of, kind of going into this like debauchery, but just kind of emotional indulgence, possibly some sexual indulgence, but also kind of being negligent to your other relationships around you, okay? Because, I mean, the big thing here, I think, is the time, and just the focus, hyper focus we have going on. And I don't, like I said, I don't know if this has met the criteria of something, being of infidelity or being unfaithful. That's very personal to each relationship, so I don't know for sure. But I do know that it seems kind of like it has been hurtful for your partner. I think that they have some concerns, and I don't know if that's directly because you are relating with this person, or because you're just finding a reason or a thing to distract yourself from the larger problem, the more core root problem. Now we also have a C and an I, okay? And there was a question mark up here, but it kind of, part of it fell. There was a question mark, and then we have another question mark over here. So I think there's just, I think it's just a lot of back and forth with your home within your home life, right? And really just kind of a question of, how are you going to deal with this? Like, I think that you know yourself well enough that you understand your behaviors and the cycles that you go through, but the question is, like, what are you going to do about it, right? Are you going to kind of just go head first into this, or is this going to be a situation where you're going to try to, stop, pump the brakes a little bit, and try to reorient yourself, do some self-work, find a distraction from your distraction, so that you can get back on course to deal with whatever, the thing is that you're trying to deal with. And, I just, you know, I have to mention, I am not being judgmental at all. I understand that we all cope with things in our lives differently. I have no moral, ethical judgment on how people live, their choices, you know, whatever. That's fully up to you. I'm just here to bring you some of my, the things that I'm seeing, and, you know, just kind of conveying that message. Okay. So, I don't want to sound ever like I am, you know, telling you what to do, or telling you that I think wrongly of what you are doing or whatever. Okay, so let's get that uncomfortable part out of the way. And I keep looking at this one because it looks like a little house to me, and it's so little. But it looks like a little house, and then we come over here, and I kind of see, it almost looks like a little swan and a little dragon kind of meeting nose to nose. And, you know, I think that, it's funny, a swan and a dragon kind of are both very kind of graceful and, fairly reserved, beautiful, a sight to be seen, right? Until you really push them. And I think I would be more afraid of the swan than the dragon, maybe. Swans are mean. They go for it. So I feel that, you know, they're with your person, if you have a person that you are with, your primary partner, I feel like if you do this right, you can totally navigate it well. If you both get to that point where you're going to go at it, it's going to be a big mess. I think real fight, arguing, a lot of that fire and the scary bird hook mouth or whatever it is they have, you know, so I think really it's just, I think the best thing that you can really do for yourself in this situation is just give yourself a couple beats. Okay, just kind of slow it down. It's nice to have somebody who is paying attention to you, who is you know, getting to know you, or you have jokes with, or, you know, you're both interested in the same stuff and you're like really geeked out about it. And, you know, that's cool. But if it starts to affect the way that you're living, you are neglecting your duties, your responsibilities, the people that you love and care for in your life, like anything else, if it were drinking or, you know, spending money or on video games 24 hours or whatever it is. I'm just thinking of like the real stereotypical, you know, kind of addictive things. If it starts to affect your life, like these things affect your life, then you have to kind of, you know, stop yourself and really kind of, you know, weigh things out, really look at them and be honest with yourself. What, you know, what is going to work for you, what is not going to work for you, and, you know, what is value, what is of value, what are your priorities, right? Okay, so let's just look at this one really quick. We have a 3. So I think it's important to look for a 3. We have a 7 as well. So I think maybe a 3 and a 7, or 3773. That might be an important number coming up. We have a lot of birds today for you. We have another bird sitting here. Now this one almost looks more like a hawk. Okay, so I think that one really is all about that precision. Really, really being more thoughtful, contemplative of your moves. Okay, instead of really, you know, indulging in the swampy waters there, you know, swimming in all of that kind of sensation, you know, trying to be a little more reserved, slow, thoughtful. Okay, and then we have now I'm looking at this. And it looks like an eye, it looks like an exclamation mark, but to me, it really, this shape has, in my readings recently, has been kind of the candle and kind of this illuminating thing. And so I think, you know, using this time to slow down, think about what you're doing, think about what you want, being honest with yourself, really trying to illuminate your, what people call your true will, beyond all the things that you should be doing, what you should want, what you should do, what you know, what are your responsibilities, all these things, these constructs. If you can use that kind of illuminating candle to dig through that stuff and really be honest with yourself, what is it that you want? And then kind of trying to go from there, starting to decide if your life needs adjustments, right? If you need more support in your life, maybe some kind of counseling. If you maybe need to make some changes, maybe this relationship is not for you, maybe this job is not for you, maybe you need, you know, to make more, you know, try to find another extra job or something to help with the financial stuff we were talking about. Whatever it is. I mean, there could be so many different things going on. I don't know exactly. But I think what's important is just really thinking about what is the most true, well, I always say, I hate the word true, but what is the most authentic, genuine want, desire that you have? Okay, what is the thing that is motivating you beneath it all? And, you know, trying to build up from there incrementally, you know, not all at once necessarily, but just, you know, baby steps, adjusting things, reconfiguring some things in your life so that you aren't kind of pushed to behave in ways that are not useful to you ultimately. Okay. All right. I want to thank you so much for joining me and letting me read for you today. I'm always so honored to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps me get into the algorithm. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing so. You can hit the little bell and that will tell you when the next videos come out. I'm reading every sign. Let's see, every sign once a week. So 2 signs, 6 days a week. And other than that, please leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what's going on with you. I love hearing from each and every one of you. Okay, Aries, we will talk again in 7 days. Thank you, thank you, thank you.